Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. I'm Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Super 7 ReAction G.I. Joe Kwinn figure. If you like this video, follow the channel, give me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. So let me first start by stating something that it seems like on a lot of the forums, a lot of the G.I. Joe Facebook pages that I'm on and stuff, people do not like these. And some people like them, some people don't. I'm not a huge fan of them, although I like being able to pick up some figures, kind of like this one, that were never produced to put in the collection for the, especially for this guy in, my winter my winter section. Anyway, so let's get something clear that people don't seem to understand. This is not made by Hasbro. This is made by Super 7, and ReAction has been around for quite some time. All right? There are 5 points of articulation, which, again, I'm not a huge fan of. I will reiterate again that I truly do believe that one of the downfalls of the Star Wars figures back in the 80s was G.I. Joe coming in with elbows and knees that bent and a waist, and then obviously going into a swivel arm battle grip. So, people need to understand that this is not a cash grab by Hasbro. This is them licensing specific figures to Super 7 to do in their ReAction style. Again, I understand what Super 7 does with the ReAction, and it's to take figures to show what they would look like as a 5 points of articulation back in the 80s. And I understand what people are mad about, or what people don't like about it, is that the G.I. Joe O-ring is what we had back in the 80s. But if you really want the O-rings, you're able to go to Pulse, Hasbro Pulse, and pick them up. At least what they're starting, and there's going to be more of them. And I have the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Hopefully they should ship early this week, and maybe I'll have them by the end of the week to do a review comparison. So anyway, that's what I just wanted to get out there. If you don't like them, you don't like them. Don't pick them up. It's that simple. People call them peg warmers. I don't think people actually realize what a peg warmer is. Back in our day, when we were younger, it was okay for figures to stay on the shelves longer than 3 hours. Because a line is around for weeks. Let's use He-Man and Skeletor and the Motu line. Those weren't really peg warmers. I know that's all anyone ever saw, but guess what I always saw? Those constantly being gone. So they were selling. People say, oh, I counted the ReAction line, and they were the same, just as many there on Sunday as there were on Friday when I went back. I don't believe that you counted them. I really don't. And second, I've gone to the Targets, and they're trickling out. They're being sold. I've picked up some. And again, I'm not a huge fan of them. But I do want to go over it real quick. And that was just something I wanted to get out. It seems like people don't realize, hey, if you're new to collecting and you don't understand what these are, understand that this is something that isn't done by Hasbro. A matter of fact, Hasbro has a 5 points of articulation figures that they use with their Marvel. They also use it with Star Wars, which is their, I think, retro line, which is what Star Wars originally was. If Hasbro really wanted to do a cash grab, they could sell them for $10. And I'll honestly, I'd rather buy them for $10, to be honest. So, that's my rant about this. I just want to get it out there so everyone can kind of get off that. Anyone at least that watches this can get off that and go, okay, you know what? This isn't Hasbro. This is a specific ReAction line. They do Transformers. They do, I think, Gremlin. They do all kinds of stuff in ReAction. Same with their Super 7. I'm sorry, their Ultimates. They're all the same scale. It's to fit with their figure. So, anyway, my rant is over. Now we'll take a look at the figure and the card art. And there's card art, and again, this figure was never done, but they do try and go back to what you originally had, and they have the white border. Now, obviously, you don't see the whole thing. This is supposed to be what the original Joe card would look like. You got this explosion, and obviously new artwork because there was never a Kwinn. And on the back, you got the cross-cell, and you have the figures that were in this line, and then you have his file card, and it's really cool they had to create their own file card for this Kwinn. One thing that I really do like about this, okay, is that there's no foreign language on it. Obviously, I have no issue with them selling overseas, but I would like to see a file card just have, you know, the English language, or if in the French language. These companies can do that. So anyway, quick look at our Kwinn. He's got his machine gun and machine gun belt. So let's quickly just take a look at this guy here. There's not too much to show. His machine gun obviously comes off. It's actually a pretty cool machine gun, as you can see here. All right. It's got the ammo belt. I do like that. Again, I don't think you could fit this in a O-ring hand. You might be able to. Guess we can kind of size it up with, you know, if you have some of them that have a bigger hand, yeah, I guess it does kind of fit in there. And I just kind of wiggled it. I did not stretch his thumb, as you might imagine. I am not going to stretch my original, and again, my original Storm Shadow that I only have up here because, like I said, I'm waiting for the other stuff to come in. It's got some ammo belt that goes around, which is actually pretty cool. All right, and then the figure. So let's take a closer look at him, and we'll wrap this up. All right, so there we have it. Again, you look at this here, and you can see it's going to tell you Super 7 up here, ReAction. You got the G.I. Joe, you know, the same G.I. Joe font. They put Kwinn in Elite Tracker, exactly where everything used to be. Again, I really do like this. The artwork is absolutely amazing. If you want to buy these just to put on your wall, then, you know, they're really nice. If you're going to put them in the backdrop, you know, they work. They really do. But again, on this, you will not see the Hasbro logo anywhere. The only thing you do see about Hasbro is that it tells you that it is a licensed property of Hasbro. So in other words, this thing was licensed out. Okay, so on the back, you're going to have your cross out, Snake Eyes, Kwinn, Scarlet, G.I. Joe Trooper, which there are 3 of, Cobra Commander, Destro, Baroness, and the Cobra Trooper. There's a Y back and an H back. I do have 2 of them incoming, but one is actually on back order, so I'm not sure which one's coming in. I'll be doing a review on that shortly. And then you have the file card, which, again, they did a really good job of going back and making us remember what they had, you know, what the actual G.I. Joes look like, what the file cards look like and everything. So I really do appreciate this. I appreciate them putting work into a character that we didn't know. Okay, and this character here is actually from issue number 2, and I don't believe he's ever been seen again. So he's an Eskimo tracker, mercenary. So you look at him here, and more than anything, I look at him, he kind of reminds me of, you know, Hoth Han Solo from our original 80s. And you can kind of see he's kind of slanted. So I'm not sure if all the other, you know, the other figures are, or the other Kwinns are like that. I know the Snake Eyes and the blind guy that I got, he's not like that. Neither is the Target exclusive. So I'm not gonna say they're all like this, but definitely his foot is a little short. My guess is I bet they're all like this. He does have peg holes, but unfortunately these peg holes do not work with the original stands. So if you take this stand here, they don't work, unfortunately. So I would assume that Super 7 has their own peg stands. I know they do with the dog sled that I have. They do have pegs on it. And so when you look at the articulation, he's just like a 1980s Star Wars figure. You can tilt the head back and forth. Arms just go up and down, and legs. So not much to articulate. Again, you can use them for the background or even front, you know, if he's just going to be standing there. Obviously, you're not going to get him any type of action poses. He comes with his ammo belt, which just kind of drapes around him. Again, this would actually be kind of cool if you want to use that for, you know, another G.I. Joe figure. Then he has this machine gun with ammo hanging out. And it almost looks like, I mean, they have this little post here. I would assume that there's probably somewhere that you could pop that in, considering he can't really hold it with two hands, but it does slide right in. Much better than, let's say, the Snake Eyes Uzi that I have that he came with, or the Blind Woodsman, his weapon. So the one thing I do like about Super 7 and their packaging is he comes with this, they all have, at least the ones that I've seen, I'm assuming they're all the same, is they just fit right in here. And I was able to open this up just enough here that if I really wanted to, I could just slide him right back in, right, and leave him just like that. And what's really nice about it is, obviously I didn't put his gun back in there, but it keeps him from rattling around. And I will say this, as I was looking at the new pictures of the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow O-Ring from Hasbro Pulse that are coming out, it looks like they're doing the exact same thing with the figures. The figures won't be rattling around. They stand in place, so they're perfect that if you want to hang on the wall, you're an inbox collector. And I'll definitely be keeping the box here, but as you can see, I just pulled open enough here, and I slid them out, and I was able to keep it on there enough. So, anyway, we want to show that. So, there's the figure. Again, not really much to him. Ooh, look at that. Not much to him. Cool figure because it's one that we've never had in the line. He's not a cartoon accurate because he wasn't in the cartoon. He's comic accurate from issue number 2. So let's wrap this up. All right, so there you have it. That's a quick look at our Kwinn, G.I. Joe Kwinn. Again, I figured this never been created. So it's kind of, you know, it's going to be the only one. I wouldn't be surprised if down the line G.I. Joe, or Hasbro, should I say, starts to take a look at some of these things. It almost seems like Hasbro might be taking a swipe at Super 7 with what they're doing with their 6-inch retro line. They're kind of picking at some of the stuff that the Super 7 has already done. And now they're kind of doing the same with this O-Ring when they do with this, the Cobra Commander and the Destro, or not, Cobra Commander and the Duke, where they're more cartoon and accurate colors. So I'm not really sure if the head guys at Hasbro are just like, hey, you know what? Super 7 is doing this and they're selling. We should do the same thing. If so, I think it's a BS move because it's their property. They licensed it. So if you don't want someone else to do it, you know, don't license it. A big point would, a big way to know is if they ever do the 5 points of articulation. Hasbro does. So anyway, this is the figure. Again, artwork looks wonderful in the package. They look nice. Taken out of the package, you're going to put them with an O-ring. And again, they fit nice together. But if you get too close, you definitely notice, oh, hey, look. One can bend their arms, one can't. And that's really seen when they're holding weapons, because obviously you can't get them to point their weapons. You know, they're just kind of going to hold straight up, which is anything that we saw with, you know, back in the day with our Star Wars figures, which we all know the disadvantages that we have. So anyway, I did want to do a quick video on this, just to quickly go over him and show people what he is. And I kind of ranted on probably a little bit longer than I planned. I think I went about 5 minutes there, just kind of completely ranting about Super 7 or people in the Super 7 and not understanding that, hey, you know what? This is not Hasbro. This is Super 7, a completely different company. But G.I. Joe or Hasbro is actually licensing G.I. Joe to some other companies and letting them put their take on it. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up before I ramble anymore. Again, if you don't like it, don't buy it. I mean, they're kind of costly. At 18 bucks, they're very costly. I don't want to say kind of. They're really costly, but that's how much all the ReAction figures are. Cross a line, $18. Do I personally think they're too expensive? Yes. $10 point price range is probably closer to it. That's what Hasbro does with their Marvel, $10. Hasbro's a bigger company. 18, again, kind of high, and Super 7 is not that small of a company anymore. But once you get to a specific point, you really don't go down. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. If you like the figure, go out and pick it up. If you want to follow me on Instagram, A Punk with Toys. Again, I'm posting my figures, toys that I get when I do new reviews. Again, follow the channel, like the video. It's all appreciated, and happy toy hunting.